I've got a problem with high idle on this 2002 Jeep Liberty. It's got the 3.7 liter. When it starts up cold, the idle fluctuates, it goes up and down, and eventually it goes up to about 2000 RPM and kind of hangs there. And once you get it warmed up or put it into gear, it seems to go away, but it's getting pretty consistent where it's got the fast idle. And one of the things it could be is the idle air control valve. I have taken that out and cleaned it, and it seemed to be better for a little while, but it has come back. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take some Seafoam spray and regular Seafoam in a can and try both of those and see if we can't improve our problem. Seafoam spray and regular Seafoam. So we're going to take this Seafoam and add it to the gas tank. There's probably a quarter to a half a tank of gas in there. We're going to add the entire can of Seafoam to the tank, and then I've got Seafoam spray. So we're going to spray this directly into the throttle body. I'm going to show you the idle problem. I'm going to start it up. It's cold. Start it up. Show you that the idle fluctuates and then also goes into fast idle, almost 2000 RPM. Warmed up before we do any of this, so I'm going to take it out for a drive and get it warmed up and then bring it back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take off the air box here. So what you need to do is, I found it easiest if you just take off the lid to the air filter box over here. Just take the lid off, then this hose comes off as well. It's just simply one screw here, and then this air box will come off if you remove or loosen this screw back here, loosen the clamp. Take off the hose on this side. There is another hose back here on this side. Pull those two hoses off. And then this air box will slide off of the throttle body. So slide it forward so it comes off of the throttle body. And there are simply two rubber grommets right here, one on the left, one on the right, that are on these pins. That's what holds the air box on. It's those three things. It's the two grommets right here, and another grommet underneath here, hard to see, and the clamp on the back. And that's all that holds it on. Loosen the clamp and pull it forward. It'll pop right off. Once you have the air box off, you're going to take this straw that comes with the Seafoam spray and slide the little black clip down to the end. And you're going to want to wrap this around the throttle body so that the tip of the straw is about 1/4 of an inch away from the butterfly inside, and then you're going to slide the air box back on. So that rubber piece on the back of the air box, slide that back over the throttle body and pinch this in between the throttle body and the rubber grommet. And they say to have the straw at 12 o'clock, so right up, straight up and down. I found that for the Jeep, it was next to impossible to actually slide the air box back on with this piece in there. You're supposed to be able to put it back on. I wasn't able to put it on. I slid it on and held it there with my hands because you couldn't slide it far enough on. And then you need to have an assistant go in and start up the car and then rev the car about to 2000 RPM and hold it there and spray the entire can in. So there's no point in saving a little bit of the can. The instructions say half the can. I sprayed the entire can in there. Once you've sprayed the entire can of Seafoam in, then put everything back on. So put your air box back on, hook everything back up, put your two hoses back on, and then let it soak. They call it a hot soak. So your engine is already hot. You've already sprayed it in there. Let it soak for 10 minutes. So shut it off once you're done spraying, let it soak for 10 minutes, and then you're going to want to start it up. When you start it up, then you're going to have to rev it a little bit, and you're going to get a lot of smoke coming out of the back, and that smoke is cleaning the engine. So the Seafoam that went in there into the hot soak is now going to blow that carbon and everything that it was cleaning out. So expect a lot of smoke. I recommend backing it out of your garage, doing it out in the driveway. it's the next day. It's been sitting overnight, so it's good and cold now. So we're gonna give it a test this morning and see if it is still doing the fast idle and the erratic idle. So we're gonna fire it up and we're gonna wait a few minutes and see what happens. Well, I've never had it do the erratic and fast idle so quickly. Normally it takes a few minutes to warm up and then go into fast idle. That was interesting. But now it seems to have settled down, so I'm going to give it a minute or two here and we'll see what happens. That's still about 1500 RPM. So it's hanging above 15, just under 2. Maybe 1700 RPM or so, so that's pretty fast, and it did do the erratic idle right when I started it. So if I had to sum it up, I would say I don't think that the Seafoam spray or the Seafoam in the tank has helped my fast idle or erratic idle problem. When you tap on the accelerator, I'm off of it now. It would accelerate and hang and drop. I'm gonna tap it, I'm off, I'm not on it. Has not come back down yet. Has not come back down yet. Now it came back down. That was also a symptom that I saw earlier when I was having the fast idle problems. So I'm still thinking it's not resolved. It did not solve my problem. I think I need to move on. There's the idle air control valve. I'm gonna replace that